The key concept we're going to discuss in Lesson 13 is marginal product. The marginal product of an input is the change in output divided by the change in the employment of that input. Marginal product measures how much output increases when the firm employs an additional unit of the input, holding the employment of all other inputs constant. Average product, on the other hand, is the output produced divided by the employment of that input. Average product measures how much of each input the input produces. Look at this table. Row 1, L is 3. Row 2, L is 4. So L is increasing by 1. As that occurs, quantity is going from 18 to 19. That means the marginal product is 2. Output rises by 2. L rises by 1. 2 divided by 1 gives me a marginal product of 2. The fourth unit of L produced 2 extra units of output. Average product, on the other hand, goes from 6 to 5 when L goes from 3 to 4. When L is 3 and output is 18, we divide 18 by 3 to get the average product of 6. For the second row, we divide the output of 20 by L of 4 to get the average product equals 6. Marginal product diminishes when marginal product decreases as the firm increases the employment of one input and does not change the employment of the other inputs. The table below shows how much output a hypothetical firm can produce and the marginal product of each worker as the number of workers increases from 0 to 4. So output workers goes from 0 to 4, output goes from 0 to 16. Well, when we hire the first worker, output goes from 0 to 10, so the extra output is 10. When workers goes from 1 to 2, output rises by 15, the difference between 25 and 10. When we hire the third worker, output goes to 38, so marginal product of the third worker is the difference between 38 and 25. And finally, when we hire 4 workers, output rises to 46. So the marginal product of the fourth worker is the difference between 46 and 38, which is 8. So marginal product increases from 10 to 15 as the number of workers increases from 1 to 2. There's 10 and 15. But then marginal product decreases from 15 to 8 as the number of workers increases from 2 to 4. Marginal product rises to 15, and then it falls to 13, and then to 8. Diminishing marginal product begins with the third worker because that's the first worker where marginal product is lower than the previous worker. The marginal product of a resource eventually decreases as its employment increases because the average amount of other resources available to it decreases. For example, 2 workers may be more than twice as productive as 1 because they can work together and specialize. However, as the firm employs more and more workers, each of them will have less access to equipment and floor space. As workers have less access to equipment and floor space, the marginal product of each additional worker will eventually diminish. Since the extra worker is not able to access all of the other inputs it needs, it contributes a smaller increase in output than the previous worker.